I want to talk today about a question that people need answering. Do we need the church? Do we need to go to church? I've heard from some people that they don't go to church because they can feel they can do just as well on their own. They don't need other people. The second thing I've heard from somebody, and more than one, is that I couldn't go to church because I'm not good enough. The third one is people who have been hurt in the church and are afraid to go back because they don't want to be hurt again. That's a legitimate reason. And I want to answer those three questions. First of all, the church is full of hypocrites. It's true, there probably are hypocrites in the church, but let's remember that Jesus didn't come for people who didn't need healing. He came for the sick. He came to heal the sick. He came for those people that needed him. And so if you feel you don't need him, then you're in that place. I would say that everybody needs him, but until we know that we need him, we're not going to accept him. Are we good enough to go to church? Well, the truth is no, none of us are. But Jesus died in our place so that we could have his righteousness. So yes, we can go to church because he's already covered it all. And for those people that have been hurt, I would say that people were the ones involved, not God. And I would suggest that you find another church because we need each other. We need other people around us. I want to go on now to say, what does the Bible say about going to church? And what are some of the reasons why we need to be there? First of all, I want to go to Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24 to 25. It says, let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works, and let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near. You see, that he is encouraging them to stay together so that they can motivate each other and encourage one another, because they need that in order to go through trials. They need each other to encourage each other. In 1 Peter 5, verse 7 to 8, it says, stay alert, watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for somebody to devour. Stand firm against him and be strong in your faith. Remember that your family of believers all over the world is going through the same kind of suffering that you are. You see, the enemy is like that lion. He doesn't attack the whole flock usually. He just goes after the stragglers. If there are animals that drop behind because they're sick or because they just don't think that they need to catch up with the group, then they're targets for the enemy. And in the spiritual realm, the enemy comes to deceive us. He comes to tell us lies, to mislead us and lead us along the wrong path. And when we're by ourselves, when we're independent, we're an open target for the enemy to do that, because we don't have other people around to help us to stay on course. The third scripture I want to read is from 1 Corinthians 12, 18 to 21, sorry. Our bodies have many parts, and God has put each part just where he wants it. How strange a body would be if it only had one part. Yes, there are many parts, but only one body. The eye can never say to the hand, I don't need you. The head can't say to the feet, I don't need you. Verse 22 goes on, in fact, some parts of the body that seem weakest and least important are actually the most necessary. And the parts we regard as less honorable are those we clothe with the greatest care. So we carefully protect those parts that should not be seen, while the more honorable parts do not require this special care. So God has put the body together so that extra honor and care are given to those parts that have less dignity. This makes for harmony among the members, so that all the members care for each other. If one part suffers, all the parts suffer with it. If one part is honored, all the parts are glad. You see, we need each other because every one of us is created differently. We all have a different part to play. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You need all the bits or you don't have the full picture. Each piece is different, but it's needed. And in the church, every one of us has something in us that other people need. I am sharing today of the things God has put in me, the knowledge and the wisdom He's built up in me over 40 years. And I'm sharing what I have. But every one of you that is watching this, you also have something in you that God has put there that other people need. It may not be perfectly formed yet, but it doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are, you have something that others need. You have some testimony of something God has done or where you've seen Him work in your life. You have some wisdom that you've gained from living through your life. You have things to share that other people need to hear. You may have gifts that other people need. Some people love to cook. They love hospitality. That's something that's needed. In my case, I'm an intercessor and I have a prophetic gift. That's needed in the church. We need each other. The scripture in Proverbs says that iron sharpens iron. God puts us all in one body and knowing that we won't all get along. Sometimes we rub up against people, but that is something that is good, because when that happens, what it reveals within us are our weaknesses, our areas where we have triggers, the areas where we get frustrated or angry. And when that's revealed, then we know that that has to be dealt with. So that is helpful because then we can face it and get God's help to deal with it. That is one reason we need to be together with other believers. And the other one is, as I've already shared, we need other people alongside us so that if we go off track, if we're believing something that's not true, we have other people who can correct us. Other people can see faults that we don't know we have. We need each other to get that help. We need each other to pray for each other. We need to be interdependent. That's the way God created us. If we have parts of the body that are missing, then the body is dysfunctional because it cannot operate the way it's supposed to if parts are missing. If you are by yourself and you don't go to church, somebody is lacking something that you have. And so today I want to encourage you, if you're not in a church, to think about it and try out different places until you feel you're at home in one. God will lead you to the right church. Not all churches are the same, and they're not meant to be the same. My church is a house of prayer and we're a place of healing. Not all churches are, but God will take you to one that is right for you, and you'll know when you're in the right one. And just know that you won't always get along. There will be opportunities for offense, but that is all part of the training that God does in our lives. So I want to encourage you today to take this to heart. Find a place where you belong, or if you will belong somewhere, then help other people that don't feel that they belong. You have things to offer that they need. And so I'm going to leave you with that, and I pray that you will find what you need and you'll find where you belong. If you want to hear more of these If you want to have more of these videos, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for listening. Bye for now.